I'm interviewing Jason Kwon of OpenAI. I want to know what I should ask him. Give me one good one, or else I'm gonna cancel you from my phone.
Oh, no pressure at all then.
So the first time that you joined ChatGPT, your first prompt.
I was playing around with one of the models. It was the first time, and I just asked it, what's the meaning of life?
I asked a very challenging question. What is the grand theory of everything?
I wonder what do we see now in Thailand? Like, what can you share about the usage in Thailand? How people are interacting with AI?
Here versus other places that might have a similar profile, the difference might actually just come down to optimism and belief. And so
It's interesting how, when you travel around the world, I think AI is being adopted everywhere.
how can you actually have a system that does exactly what you want it to do, doing and thinking what you expect it to do?
Welcome to the OpenAI Forum hosted by House of Wisdom. So glad to have everyone here joining us today. On behalf of the OpenAI team, we are glad to invite you to the OpenAI Forum, which is a global community and platform bringing together experts committed to OpenAI's mission to build AI that benefits everyone, and for people who are keen to learn more about AI as well. Our talk today is titled The AI Leap, Turning Today's Disruption into Tomorrow's Advantage for ASEAN Leaders. We are so glad that you guys have taken your time out to join us today at HOW, and I am sure that the next hour or so will be an hour and a half full of wisdom, full of engagement, and full of fun. So first, please welcome to the group, to the stage, the group chairman of KBTG, tech arm of K-Bank, and one of the largest tech company of Southeast Asia, and founder of 7 venture funds with over 150 investments globally in making unicorns. He is one of the most active venture capitalists in Southeast Asia. With his unique journey from Silicon Valley back to Thailand, he has been a driving force behind the country's tech and startup ecosystem, inspiring entrepreneurs and accelerating innovation across the region. Please welcome our Dean of HOW, Krating Poonpol ครับเชิญเลยครับคุณกระทิง And joining him is the Chief Strategy Officer of OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT and one of the driving forces in bringing artificial intelligence into our everyday lives. He has been instrumental in guiding OpenAI's global vision, ensuring that AI is not only groundbreaking but also meaningful and accessible to people around the world. Please welcome for the very first time to HOW, and again in Bangkok, Jason Kwon. Hello. All right, together, these two gentlemen will be sharing their perspectives on the intersection of AI technology and entrepreneurship and what the future holds for us. So that's it for the script that I'll be reading from. So welcome to Bangkok. Yeah.
It's great to be here.
How many times have you been to Bangkok?
Zero.
Zero.
This is the first time. Yeah.
What are you looking forward to?
I think spending time with you guys, right?
ปากหวานนะยูเนี่ยนะปากหวานนะยูเนี่ยนะ I said you have a sweet mouth, very charming mouth. คุณกระทิง I've never seen so many HOW fellows coming to HOW in one night in a long time. What are your thoughts about tonight?
I think it's very special night. Basically, to have the speakers and also the person that is full of wisdom, and also the one that is the mover and shakers of the world, and also the one that is pioneering the future of technology, and also one of the most important person that will shape the future of the humanity and the world as well. So I think it's a great honor to have you here, and really a great honor for this country and also for this community, and we look forward to your wisdom.
So the first question, vodka, gin, beer, or champagne?
Beer.
Vodka, gin, beer, champagne, wine?
Probably water.
You can.
Probably water.
Water. Are you sure, Krating?
Yeah, maybe.
You can pick it up later.
We can do later.
At the counter.
We can do
At the
later.
counter after the Q&A session.
Thank you, Kap.
So the first thing that comes to mind, and we talked about this in the green room, is so the first time that you joined ChatGPT was in 2020.
OpenAI I joined in 2021.
2021, OpenAI. And we were talking about your first prompt or your first question. Remember when we downloaded the app, download lung ma, and we saw that prompt, you had to ask one question, right? Krating, what was your first question to ChatGPT?
I asked a very challenging questions. I asked what is the grand theory of everything? Because I want to understand I believe back then that the AI probably can be a translators of the ghost voice so then I asked and definitely back then disappointed. But
What did it say?
I couldn't remember, but it's but it's kind of not impressive. But the second question is very, very impressive.
What was that?
I think I asked the analysis of the economy of this country. I think that's very impressive.
What about you, Jason? What was your first question to ChatGPT?
Yeah, this was actually before ChatGPT. It was before the product went out, but so I was playing around with one of the models. It was the first time, and I just asked it, "What's the meaning of life?"
What's the meaning of life?
Yeah, I just wanted to see if it could answer questions like that in a sensible way.
Do you remember the answer?
It wasn't that good, but it was a coherent answer.
Yeah.
So it kind of walked through. It's like, well, some people believe this, some people believe that. Ultimately, it's kind of up to you. But it was maybe 3 paragraphs of the answer. And you just are not used to computers being able to do that, right?
Yeah.
So even that was pretty good back then. But I think it's also an interesting thing, which is right now I'm sitting here saying, it wasn't that good of an answer. But if you had shown that to somebody 20 years ago, it would have, right? So it kind of demonstrates a little bit more about us in some ways, about how quickly we adapt.
Speaking of asking questions to ChatGPT, when you do surveys out there worldwide, can I ask ChatGPT, what do people ask you mostly about? Does it answer that question?
It doesn't have awareness of that.
Okay.
Yeah, and so this is actually something that is not really apparent to lots of people as you're playing around with the tool, because it can answer so many questions. It has awareness of things, but does not have that kind of introspection into its own usage across the world. But roughly speaking, in Thailand at least, the most popular use cases, translation, self-care, advice, personal writing, education, and those are the most popular use cases.
Self-care.
Yes.
For instance, I self-care, I'd be like, how do I groom my hair? Right? Can you analyze how I do my hair?
That's exactly it.
Right?
Yeah.
Do I look okay? How do I do my face? We have Dr. Da. Can you raise your hand? She's from Aesthetics Clinic. Do you use AI as well at your clinic? Always, right? So if you need any job done here in Thailand,
Perfect.
she's the go-to person. Right? I've seen a lot of people using AI to film themselves and basically ask for its feedback. Have you talked to anyone about that here?
Here or just in general?
In general.
In general, yeah, I think definitely people do that, and then people will also take pictures of themselves and say, "How do I look today?" And people actually, that's not something I would have expected, but it's interesting that once you combine the image capabilities along with the conversational capabilities, people start to kind of use it in this kind of confident sort of way. And another version of this is when people are trying to write, some of the things that they might do is they will write stuff and might be too shy to share it with somebody else because they're not necessarily ready for the feedback or criticism or whatnot. So they share it with ChatGPT and they say, like, how am I doing? Is this good writing? Is this bad writing? Give me the critical feedback that I need. And so it kind of is this like half step towards opening yourself.
Do you know more about yourself does it know more about you than yourself, Krating, sometimes? Have you ever asked ChatGPT, like, who's Krating?
I hope not. I don't know, and I hope not.
What do you use it for mostly now?
I think like right now it's basically on research. I think like on the research of the company that I plan to invest, and also like doing the research on the the future of technology, economy, that kind of stuff. I think like is very important. Also summarization, the summarize of a very long content, and then try to stitch up pieces of the those kind of content together. So basically accelerate and speed up my learning process. I think that's very important. So I think like and I'm glad that Jason mentioned that the use case that is one of the most popular in Thailand is on education. And I think Thailand is a country that basically we have a lot of opportunity in terms of education. And I think like AI and also OpenAI, ChatGPT can strike can provide a more level playing field, for people in Thailand. I think that's killing use case and a good use case that we should aspire to use, and not only that, I think like the other thing that I think like self-care, because like in Thailand, I hope it's not only like physical self-care, but probably mental and the other thing as well, because in Thailand we have like 10 million people that basically have like is suffering from like mental wellness, that kind of stuff. So I think like if we have that, and the if we can rely on that, and it's more reliable and also kind of like trustworthy, I think it will help solve a lot of problems. I think like that's the main use case of the AI and technology, providing equal access to, to educations, and many other stuff that in the past is very difficult. I think in the past it's kind of like intelligence is kind of the scarcest resource. And now like OpenAI is one of the company that changing the world by like providing access to the scarcest resource, which is intelligence, and also like education kind of thing. So you have it on the fingertips. So I think like thank you for creating it.
Thank you for coming. Sawadee krap. You can go.
It's great to be here.
He wrapped up really well.
No, I really want to thank him. I wish I had that like 30 years ago. You are just 30 years too late, I think.
Are you? Yeah.
I like the way you ended the last time.
Well, speaking of speed, we mentioned before about how for the past 4 months it's been accelerating every day.
Yeah.
And I told my team, I said by New Year's time, half of you will just be working with AI, and the other half will understand AI. You cannot have anyone in the office who does not use AI. That's just the bottom line right now, as we see. So the growth is exponential. Can you tell us about what you're seeing worldwide in terms of growth from what you've been talking to, you've been sharing with? Yeah. What's a prime example of how, over in just a few months, such thing has been disrupted? Like, what do you see?
It's a good question. In terms of raw usage, in Asia, for example, it's just been 4x year over year. So that
4x.
Yeah. So that's a crazy amount of growth in a short period of time, and that's just raw usage, in terms of people coming to the site. But I think the thing that I think you're probably looking more for is like, what is the qualitative experience and how is that kind of changing? So maybe the easiest way to kind of get this across is to walk through the stages that I've seen. So 2 years ago, people were using the tools, and it was a weaker model for summarization, to write things faster, because it's a text model, right? And then maybe last year, people were using it more to write software really faster. And I think that that's a native capability of the tools, and it's been pretty good at that. Now, you're seeing people use the reasoning capabilities of the tools to help perform scientific experiments. And a really good example of this, excuse me, is we did this partnership with this company called Retro Biosciences. And they took our model and they customized a little bit more with some of their data. And it helped them uncover some new breakthroughs in anti-aging. And so that is, in 2 years, it went from help me write my website copy better to now it's doing scientific discoveries. And so I think that is the rate of change that we're seeing.
What is the one thing that has wowed you this past week about your service? Like, even you yourself said, my goodness, I cannot believe that we're here seeing this. What was the latest thing that really wowed you?
I think actually it's not so much the service itself, but the creativity that comes from people interacting with the service. So I was in Korea yesterday and the day before, and we had this whole event where we invited all these artists in our artist community who have been using our tools to showcase their art at the event. And there were artists there that have been artists, and they're using their tools to create art, AI art. And then there were artists there that had not been artists, as a profession before, but they were graphic designers, they were authors, they were in maybe the marketing industry or whatever, and they had a creative spirit, but they were blocked perhaps by the ability to execute in a tactile way. But what AI did is it kind of bridged the ability between reality and imagination. So they were no longer blocked by their physical limitations, perhaps. And so they were just really excited about all the things they could do with the tools. And that is, that's the kind of thing that I think all of us at OpenAI really like to see.
Kwon Krating, I wonder for the past few months, right, the conversations that you've been having in your circles, can you share with us more what has been happening for Thailand in terms of AI and the acceleration of AI growth here?
I think similar to what Jason mentioned, I think what is amazing is actually how much AI has changed people's life and unleashed the potentials of people. For example, in the past, I have a team member that basically is just a designer. Now he becomes a full stack PM. It's just amazing. He can do data science, analysis of the product usage, the kind of stuff using ChatGPT. With a multimodal capability, it becomes it empowers and make people and turn people into superhuman, and become multi-talented with the multimodal capability and also the reasoning capability as well. I think it's just the creativity of the usage is just amazing. That's number one. And two, I think it's not limited to only the general people, but basically when you try it with children, that kind of thing, it's just amazing, And the other thing is that how much the top executive is using is adapting and adopting AI in this country. I think this is very amazing. But what I look forward to, is probably on the transformation of the whole industrial sectors, or that is especially important, and also getting real bottom line values out of AI transformation. I think now at the usage adoption level, I see that already, and at individual level, I think Thailand is one of the highest adoption in this region as well. I think the next one is also how to use that to transform the company and industrial transformation, and hopefully even transform the whole country with AI in the next 5 years. I think that's what what I look forward to.
I think that's an amazing reply to that question. I also want to add that I've been asking it every day. I just don't want to work anymore. Can you work for me, Agentic AI, ChatGPT agent? And it hasn't worked for me yet, Jason. I'm still waiting for that. Solving my.
I'll take that feedback back.
My company problems, please. And I wonder what do we see now in Thailand? What can you share about the usage in Thailand? Something that we can get a glimpse into how people are interacting with AI, especially ChatGPT, over the past few years or even now.
Well, I think probably the thing that really comes through is the optimism. And that's actually not to be taken for granted. And one of the reasons why that's important is I will go back to actually a story within OpenAI, which is a lot of the techniques that we really use to get to these models and get to these products, a lot of the people in the AI research sector didn't really think that those were the right ideas to pursue back in 2016, 17 when the company was formed. And you talk to people like Sam, he would say when we first started, people laughed at us. And they thought we were kind of silly, we were chasing the scaling laws, and they didn't think this stuff would work. People still make fun of us, but they're just a smaller portion of the research community now. And I think really the difference is if you talk to people back that have been there for a while, they'll say the key point was belief. They just kind of thought that this was the right direction. They were optimistic that it was going to work. And they'll say they were not more talented than the other researchers at other labs. They just had conviction in this direction. And then, we have the results that we see now. And I think if you transplant that kind of optimism belief to Thailand, if you think about the country, there are a variety of things that, the country wants to succeed in areas such as, you have an aging population that you want to make sure that you're taking care of. You also have economic opportunity that you want to make sure is equitably distributed. You have certain sectors of the economy that are really important, like agriculture, creativity, entertainment. And all of those you like to see kind of be amplified by this technology. And I think if you contrast the attitude here versus other places that might have a similar profile, the difference might actually just come down to optimism and belief. And so
People have been asking,
Yeah.
oh, Thais, they love ChatGPT. Oh, Thais love everything. You know, Facebook is here. We use Facebook. We go live. We use TikTok. You know, OpenAI. We don't care. We don't mind. You know, we love to explore. We like. What is it about Thailand, Kun Krating? What is it about Thais that we go all in with whatever technology comes? What is it?
I think we are fast learner and fast adopter of technology. You can see like back then like long times ago, I think like when I still work at Google, I look at the search queries from Thailand. We even have the dedicated people that work at Google to like to serve Thailand. And then like when I came back and visited Facebook, Thailand is the world capital of Facebook as a per usage, you know, like per capita usage per capita. And even mobile banking, Thailand is the highest in the world in terms of like mobile usage per capita as well. So I think like that's we are fast adopter and fast learner. And actually I would say that like what Jason said, you know, like technology just amplify the creativity. You know, I just think that like you know, we need to use the tools, you know, like to really unleash the strongest point of Thai people, you know, creativity, fun loving, entertainment, you know, and even like service, you know, like when we think about service sector, which is actually very big, like tourism, that kind of thing, you know, it's actually like you know, we can use an AI to do like, for example, like agentic workflow to really automate like non-service tasks, you know, like documentation, that kind of thing, so that we can turn back, you know, like the people that is supposed to do a service to the customer, like tourists, that kind of thing, to do the best, you know, like to and also like you know, to increase the productivity of doctors or like healthcare provider. Healthcare is one of the sectors that is like you know, we are lacking like nurse, we are lacking doctors, but then we can turn back, you know, with AI, turn back doctors to be a doctor, turn back a nurse to be a nurse, you know, like and also turn back a lawyer to be a lawyer, turn back like everyone to be, you know, like that kind of thing. And I think like you know, I have a crazy idea, you know, that
What is it?
No, I think like with ChatGPT or even like AI tools in general, I think like especially definitely for ChatGPT, I think like in the future, you know, like right now we can create short movies already, and imagine in the future, you know, like you can create even Thai people, because I believe like apart from food, apart from like many other things like wellness, that Thailand like agriculture, that are key, you know, like Thailand can be like a center of film, you know, art of film as well. And Thai people right now, like every creator, you know, we have probably like the largest pool of creator per capita in the world as well. And right now they probably can use AI to get short movies, you know, like great quality movies, you know, like that will be what Thailand can do as well. And imagine in the future, like you know, we can have a similar like you know, like platform like similar to Netflix, and rather than like you know, you're going there, you click ChatGPT and then you create your own movies, you know, and then you sell to the world, you know, like it will be even more customized, turn by turn, something like that. I think like there like what I like about this wave of the AI transformation is that it's unleashed so much of human capability, and the it's almost limitless. I think like and I hope Thailand will be not only the fast adopter, but also like we can ride the wave and we can be the creator of the next economy as well. That's what I hope.
What are your thoughts about that, Jason?
I think that's an amazing vision. Yeah. And I think, you know, you were telling me a little bit about how you took, you spent time in Silicon Valley, and then you tried to take a bunch of the learnings there and create a community here. And I think you were saying, hey, a lot of people didn't understand what he was doing for a while, but now they get it. And I think more of that is probably where the future comes from, right? And I think everything that you're saying, you're seeing the future because you've actually been kind of ahead of the pace before. And that kind of entrepreneurship is probably the core of what will actually, you know, make that vision come true.
So
Thank you.
So the product drops next month. OpenAI videos. You can check that out. I'm just kidding. Good routine. I mean, I'm seeing, you know, people can actually do films and movies and shorts, and it's just, and Thais are super creative.
Yep.
You know, we in terms of awards, in terms of advertising, commercials, we win all these lion. What's it called again? Cannes. Lion. Like all these. You should search Thai commercials.
Okay.
They're the funniest. They're the most dramatic. And then you get to cry as well. We're an emotional country, right? We have fun, we cry, we get really depressed. you know, and we are very vigilant. We're very an emotional country. So lots of content are coming out from Thailand, and then you know that there's so many content creators out here, right, in this region. Tell us more about how exciting the times we're living in right now, with so many creators coming out from Southeast Asia, especially Thailand.
Yeah, so I think this is actually one of the things that I'm most excited to see people use AI for, which is new types of creative content, new ways of actually creating content. And so, I mean, a few stories that I've just kind of heard. There's this whole community, and it's in Thailand and as well as in other parts of the world, where there are creators that do clippings. And I had not heard of this phenomenon until recently, which is there's an economy of people that will actually take clips of content and they'll make sure that it gets the right distribution in social media channels. And there's a whole science and art to it. Imagine how that's going to change with AI, right? Now you're not taking clippings of content that already exists, but you can actually create new clippings from the AI models. And now what used to be a job where you're essentially just kind of editing, that person, you'll see probably somebody come out of this whole constituency where they used to be more of a mechanic, but now they're going to be probably more of an artist because they can actually generate clips of their own. And then I think the other part of this is, 30 years ago, you would have creators and they'd have to have all this distribution, they'd have to have reputation, they'd have to be stars. And in the last 15 years or so, you've got the rise of YouTube and Instagram creators, and they have their audiences, and you will see probably people using these tools to create new types of audiences that didn't used to exist before, because they are just making new types of content that really speaks to the generation of people that are really native to the tools. And I think that is something that we'll all be really surprised by, but in probably mostly a good way. And it will kind of, I think, really get across the fact that this is still a technology that doesn't do things for you that you didn't already have inside of you in some way already. And I think that is, it's still just about the humanity of the tool.
So much impact is happening for Thailand, and what he's mentioning, right, Krating?
Yeah, I think but we can do a lot more. I think when we are probably day one of driving, creating a transformation and impact, using an AI. I think and basically Thailand as a whole country, we can basically ride this wave and then leapfrog. There are many areas that we can solve, what Jason mentioned earlier as well. Agriculture, there it's probably the sectors that hire the most people. But if you look at in terms of productivity, we are one of the lowest as well. We can use that, and in the past it's all about knowledge. You don't have knowledge, you don't have intelligence. They're farmers, in the US, I see they basically have a tools available. And right now, I think many developers in Thailand can create and tackle the barrier to entry is very, very small right now. And in the future, I think when we reach some level of maturity, probably hopefully GPT-6, people can create their own mini program to solve their own problem immediately. For example, imagine you're accountants, and then I have an accounting problems, and then but it's you need a program, you need developers, blah blah blah. But then you can use that, to create a mini program. It's beyond vibe coding, you can create a business solutions. And the next one is that I think we probably will reach the next wave of the AI native startups. Thailand can catch the wave of the next generation of startup. We can see a huge productivity from the AI native startup. One revenue per employee is $2.6 million for some company. And imagine a company like OpenAI, probably the fastest in the history to reach $300 billion valuation. And Thailand GDP is how much? 400 billion. So you can see that there are tons of opportunity and entrepreneurship that Jason mentioned, empowering democratizations, access to intelligence, access to the tools, and have a companion. And also the other one is that to use it to really drive the transformation of many sectors that are very important to Thailand. And I think we can be a creator. We can be someone that basically a builders. We can turn back the spirit of builders and use AI tools, amazing tools like ChatGPT and OpenAI, to really leapfrog again in many sectors. I think we just need but the smallest unit to do that is the country. Smallest unit is not even individual. it's not even like one company or one sectors. It has to come together because there are other things that we need to work together as a country, like governance, that kind of thing, like regulations, public-private partnership, and also AI is not only about AI alone, but also data, how we share data safely, and also security, that kind of stuff. It's just so many things that we need to work on, and a single unit is this one country at least as a minimum, I think.
Are we really truly adopting out of all the countries in Asia? Right? Is Thailand there? I think Thailand, Vietnam, or Indonesia.
Yeah.
We're there, right?
Yeah. I think it's definitely one of the highest and fastest adopting regions. And it's not just with ChatGPT. It's actually with all the generative AI tools.
So we're on the edge. We're at the forefront, correct? Thailand.
Yeah.
It's interesting how when you travel around the world, I think AI is being adopted everywhere. But especially for Southeast Asia, you see people are very open, like we mentioned before. Now there's so many use cases of people's lives being transformed. I would love to hear an example that you've heard of people's lives being changed, especially with ChatGPT. I heard of this guy. His name is Dr. Kidd. He's a Howe Fellow. He spoke to ChatGPT. He wanted to create an inhaler. It's called Yadom. Do you sniff? Okay, so Thai people love to sniff. Okay, we sniff this Yadom. You've never? Oh, you have to sniff. Okay, so when you sniff, you get really relaxed, right? And now this guy named Dr. Kidd, he spoke to ChatGPT. He says,
triggered a reaction in the crowd.
Yeah, he says, let's create. Oh yeah, that's inhaler.
Dr. Lukit.
Yeah, Dr. Lukit. He asked ChatGPT to create a compelling inhaler, and it came out with boba tea flavor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and he made it happen within just a few days.
That's amazing.
So I see these cases of expedite and not needing a lot of staff and growing. Are there any cases, good thing first, that you've heard of people's lives or companies being transformed with AI or even ChatGPT?
I think actually it's I would say AI in general, and definitely ChatGPT at the forefront. I think I see people improve productivity by 10x, and not really it's not joking. Like for example, the developers that has access to developer tools, they basically in the past they can write 1,000 line of code per day, using that it's 10,000 line of code, 10 million line of code written by AI, so that people can basically becoming designing the business solution using technology. So for me it's just countless. It's just countless, and definitely the majority of the share come from ChatGPT, I think. So so I think it's just countless. It's just you cannot give one single particular life changing use case, because it's just too many, I think. And not to mention myself and probably Woody as well. I think it's just amazing, I think. The other thing that I see is that teachers, a teacher that basically try to find a way to teach students, and basically find a tools, find the exams questions, and the methodology pedagogy to teach students, and using AI and ChatGPT. I think that is amazing as well. Not because the teacher, I think the key is this, Woody. I think you shouldn't be afraid of being replaced by AI. I think AI alone cannot change the world. They cannot do anything. I think it's human that use AI that will change the world, and how you shape and how you use it. I think AI is basically the amplification of humanity. The good, the bad. It depends on how you use it. I think you use it to make the world better. Definitely. I think that's a vision from a guy that I'm close to Dr. PP. He even mentioned that why don't we train an AI for the students, so that imagine in the future 18 years old or even lower than that can use an AI to accelerate scientific discovery, and he can find a way to cure cancer or cure a local or domestic problems. For example, Thailand has PM 2.5. Why don't we try to find it? The solution, something like that. It accelerates brainstorming, that kind of stuff. It's just amazing. I think that's what we need to do. And I think that is bigger question. Which is on the alignment. I think which is very important, because I don't know whether we can talk, but Jason said I can quote you that what we talk. He said probably only 2 or 3 years even though we won't reach AGI, but we will figure out how to reach AGI. And that the other problem is called like super alignment. When we have super intelligence, we need super alignment to make sure that AI is aligned with human interest, human value, that kind of thing. So governance, that kind of stuff, I think it is very important. And actually, I'm not worried about the AI, like the amplifying the the capability of humans. But what worries me is on the super alignment, and on the and this question alone, like the unit of cooperation to solve that problem is not even a country, it's the whole world has to come together. Like 10 countries wouldn't do anything, like 100 countries wouldn't do anything if one country doesn't do it. It just, I think like, I don't know.
Super alignment, right? Can you share with us more about what we will see with that? Super alignment, what does that mean? What is it? Is it everyone's aligning with AI, or what? It's a first for me here.
Yeah, no, I think it's actually the other way around, which is how do you make the system aligned to human values? And the challenge I think really is just there probably is some universal human value, but I think the process of world history would kind of illustrate that agreement on that is actually kind of challenging sometimes. And so how can you actually have a system that does exactly what you want it to do, is going to be transparent with you that it is actually doing and thinking what you expect it to do. And then I think the last part of this is your particular set of values, is it actually aligned to those? And that can change from region to region or country to country. And we have some research on this, and we've talked about this before. We call it, I think, democratic alignment. Or deliberative alignment as well, which is another way of kind of reasoning to the answer. And so it's just making sure that the systems are kind of doing what people want them to do.
What's going to be happening with AI in the world over the next few months, Jason?
I think it's probably going to be more of the development related to agentic AI. So it used to be that you could interact with the models in a natural language kind of way. That was a revelation. Then you've got reasoning capabilities, and you could actually see the model think through how to answer your questions. And now you're going to take the combination of these things and plug it into more, digital capabilities. So then it's going to be able to understand what you want because you've talked to it, and then it's going to be able to think about how to do the thing that you want. Then it's going to connect to systems and do those things online. And so then it'll, that's what people mean by agentic. So it starts with, I think you have a feature right now inside of ChatGPT called deep research, where it searches the web when you have a research question. That is like the beginning of agentic AI, because it's going out there on the web and thinking through how to answer your question, doing research and coming back. Now imagine a version of this where it's like, I want to run my company a certain way. I want to run my finances a certain way. And I want to shop a certain way. And then it's able to kind of think through and make recommendations, take actions for you in the world. And I think that is a huge space, I think, of technical innovation potentially coming about, because just think about how much online activity there is today that people do. And then if you think about really the future of AI is having AI systems really be the equivalent of, okay, now I can have 100 different things doing stuff for me that's consistent with what I want. The volume of activity online should go up by multiple exponentials.
I think a lot of people in this room, there are company leaders, they're heads of several departments and organizations. I think the one thing that they want to know is, how do you prompt correctly, right? For instance, you're in the negative today, and then you want to have exponential growth. Like how because sometimes I just screen capture the conversations I have with my teams, and I'll be like, look at this conversation, analyze for me, what do I do next? Yeah. Right, look at these numbers from finances. This is what I do. This is what I do, and it'll give me some nice answers as well. But do you have any hacks to how to prompt well, especially for business leaders?
Yeah. So the thing that you can actually do with the tools is you can ask ChatGPT how to write a better prompt. So you can actually kind of say, I'm trying to do this particular thing. What are some good example prompts that actually would get things across? And then it will actually answer you with prompts that would work better. And then you could say, out of those prompts, I'd like these two, because they're closer to my intent. Give me 10 more examples that are closer to those two examples. And so it is actually, you can use the tool itself to actually get better at using the tool.
Okay. I notice how sometimes it doesn't give you quite the answer you want. And I'd be like, are you sure you've done the research? I don't think this is the answer I want.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Woody. I know what you want now. Let me fix that. And then it's not really going to get there until the fourth or fifth try. So I'm just saying, how do you vibe with your GPT to make sure that it really understands you, Jason? Like, what is there any homework that I need to do to make it understand me even more? Please save. I'm having confusion with saving. Right. So I have a lot of windows with ChatGPT, and I don't know the policy right now. But I'm like, okay, so bring back the letter from last week that we spoke about. I said, what letter from last week? You know the one about my doctor's appointment? And like, no, it's good to visit a doctor every day, Woody. That's what you should do. So what's the rule with that?
So
I want to save everything.
there are two ways that it can have like a longer run understanding of what you're trying to do. One is you could turn on the memory feature.
Memory feature.
Yeah, and it then.
Where is it?
It's if you just go into settings and you can kind of go through.
Do I have to pay more for that?
No, it's like if you're a subscriber, personalization is baked in.
Okay.
And then it's under the personalization tab. And then if you turn on memory, it remembers aspects of the conversations you had, so that it understands you better when it answers questions. The other way you can address this, which is you're kind of thinking more in terms of like, oh, I have files, and I wanted to remember the files that I had. You can have it connected to like Dropbox or Box or Google Drive. Put your letter in Google Drive, Dropbox, or Box, and then use the feature called connectors.
Connector.
Yeah, and so the connector just means it connects to those other applications, and then you could go in and say, last week I wrote a letter to my mom, or I wrote a letter to my business partner. Go find it. And you can actually have this, there's this button at the bottom of the chat window that turns on the connectors. So turn on the connectors, and then it'll go find the letter. And then it'll have it now loaded into context, and then now you can interact with the letter. So those are the two ways you can actually do that.
Okay, so these are the hacks that people have been using. These are the ways that people have been using.
Yeah, I think if you're thinking about more like this is a business file, I want to reference it in a very deterministic way, connectors is probably the better way to do it. Memory is more like, you've told me a bunch of stuff and I kind of remember summaries of the things that you've said and I kind of understand who you are. And that's more for, I think, personalizing the responses rather than, oh, that's that specific letter I want to talk about. Yeah.
I think we're going to have some questions from the audience as well today because we're going to have a Q&A session. ก็จะสามารถถามคำถามได้เยอะมากเลยนะครับเดี๋ยวเราจะเปิดฟลอร์ในอีกสักพักหนึ่งนะครับแล้วก็ถามเป็นไทยหรือเป็นอังกฤษก็ได้นะถามเป็นไทยเดี๋ยวก็จะแปลให้นะครับคุณกระทิงก็จะแปลให้นะครับแล้วก็ help me out here okay แล้วถ้าเกิดว่าถามเป็นอังกฤษเขาจะตอบให้นะครับ so we're going to shift the energy to the floor all right for just a few moments here and then we're going to come back to the stage for our Q&A all right so we have the mic ใครถือไมค์อยู่นะครับมัมโบใครถือ the mic will be around นะครับ so first question yes right there เชิญเลยครับเอาไมค์ไปให้ตรงกลางห้อง
พี่หวันครับ
ขอบคุณครับ Hello
Okay, all right.
เชิญแนะนำตัวเองเลยครับ
Welcome to Thailand. Okay. Yeah, I'm wondering what you are going to do after this, but anyway, that's not my question. Actually, I do have two questions. One being that actually, even though the people, or say the world have been adopting more and more AI, but in terms of the success rate, it's not that much. Right. Okay. Actually, it was the result of a study conducted by McKinsey, and it was also a case study in a class where Krating was the instructor. All right. We discussed a lot about this. So, in your opinion, though, what is the biggest barrier of preventing people from implementing or deploying AI successfully? That's my first question. And the second one is, I have seen more and more countries in the world consider AI matter as the national security matters. So instead of using AI from anywhere, they try to keep it within their own country. What is your view about this, and what would you suggest to Thailand, where our country's position is nothing? I mean, we don't even choose whether we go to use any AI or we have our own AI. So just two questions, please. Thanks.
Okay. So the first question.
Would you like to translate, Kun Krating? Oh, you spoke English. Okay. Joke.
It's such a
Just relax.
We are very close. We are very close, and we are like we are fun-loving country. So we make fun on each
Actually,
other.
we're not that serious here.
We're not that
This is
serious.
the most serious conversation at How.
Does that mean it's boring?
No, it's not boring.
No.
Go ahead.
If I take the prompt seriously, it's the main thing probably is a lot of people want to adopt AI, but to get a lot of value out of it, you kind of need to redesign your workflow. And I think that a lot of organizations are trying to figure out how to do that, and it's going to take some time for them to understand that. So it says less about the technology and more about how are people going to actually adapt to the technology. And an example of this is, I think there were companies that tried to adopt it for customer service, and if you just put it in the normal workflow, it's probably not going to get as many good results as if you redesigned, okay, when a person calls in, what should that look like if it's not a person answering the call? And how does that escalate to a real person when they're dissatisfied with the artificial intelligence response? And now you're just redesigning the whole thing. And I think that's probably the way to get to results. The second question you had, which is, I think, more about like the sovereign AI concept.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I think that this is really going to come down to, it's not so much a question of like you have to keep, each country has to have its own AI system, but it will probably end up like all the other things that we've grown accustomed to technologically or in terms of trade, which is, no country actually has the ability to do everything by itself. Like even the United States, to accomplish artificial intelligence in an advanced kind of way, has to import the HBM chips from South Korea and has to import, the core logic chips from TSMC in Taiwan. And then I think in here it's a little bit like, okay, what is already emerging out of Thailand that's really powerful in terms of use cases, entrepreneurs, and that is where it's a good place to invest, rather than okay, we need to somehow figure out how to have a full stack AI system here in Thailand, because that just forces you to go in a lot of other directions that are not natural for the strengths of the country.
Yeah, I would like to add to Jason as well on the first point. I think like the OpenAI, and thank you again, like they just provide the whole free courses on how to use AI, and also like the ChatGPT, and it's very very comprehensive, like how to create an agent, that kind of thing, and also there are a lot of white papers. I think like it's very I think it's kind of the free education is the thing that basically like reduce the barrier, and I think like there are like many other things that like that is the distinguish between success and failures of the AI transformation. I think like the one is like picking the right use case to really tackle. 2 is AI tools, the right AI tools. 3 is data. Do you have like quality data, and also like strong enterprise data management system, and also like similar to what Jason said exactly, like do you transform the process to be like an AI first process. And the other thing I think like the role of leadership, I think like strong leadership. I think like the AI transformation start at the top, like you ignite and drive from the top management, but then like you can scale with middle management, and then you sustain with the everyone. I think like so it's very inclusive, and also like everyone has to be involved, and the role of human in the loop. And the last one I think like AI governance, I think that is very very important. I think like you have to put the effort and investment in governance, as much as the effort to build the AI as well. I think like that's what I foresee. And actually like thank you for deep research. I get the answer from deep research as well.
Great.
I think we should use more of that tool, deep research.
No, I think it's amazing. I use it every day. I think like and I hope like that OpenAI will not change the plan, to charge by token, but still charge like hopefully, because like I think like I'm probably ranked in top 10% of the highest usage in terms of token. I think.
All right.
Okay, I think so.
Can
My
you,
wife is kind
Can
of
you
like
do deep research on your wife? Couldn't you?
Oh no, we shouldn't do that. Like you shouldn't do that, and you shouldn't encourage her to do that as well. Like we shouldn't do it like and turn it into a family problem.
Do you use it for fortune telling?
Yeah.
Does it work for you, ChatGPT?
Wow.
Do you use it every day? Not every day. So you know the trend here. people use it
Yeah.
to tell fortunes.
Yeah. So this is actually something that you were telling me about this.
Yeah.
And that really surprised me, I think. And I think you were telling me this about 5 months ago.
Yeah.
And so I'm like kind of curious, like, where did that come from? Any ideas?
Does anyone have a
Yeah.
explanation? มีใครมีแบบที่มาไหม Why do we use it for? The reason is this.
Yeah.
Since the minute we became Thai, the first thing that we do is go to fortune tellers, because your
So it's
mom
just a
and
natural thing
our
to do.
parents would go to
Yeah.
fortune tellers, and at whatever level you are in this country,
Yeah.
you'd seek, astrology, fortune telling. I think is it ingrained in our culture, Kun Krating?
I think in many culture, I think in many cultures, I think I think it's kind of the pressure and also the disruption that is happening in the world. So people want to something to hold on, want stability, and at least want something of a certainty to give a guide, something like that. And I think for them to use fortune telling feature, it's not about telling fortune alone, but basically guidance and even some hope, and something to hold on to in the age of very very the age of turbulence. I think that's what that's why Thai people use it, I think.
Would you like to see show of hands? Show of hands. Who in here use it to dress yourself, like the color of your dress or the outfit of the day? ใช้แบบสีเสื้อประจำวัน right?
Jake?
No. You do. What do you ask it?
Like, what color shoes should go with these trousers?
That's a good one.
Because sometimes we ask, this is Wednesday. What color do we wear on Wednesday, Kun Pop? Green, right? We have colors by the day. So sometimes
Don't wear this on this day.
oh, it's more like don't wear this on avoid colors.
It'd be bad luck.
Yeah. All right, next question. Kun Oat.
Hey guys, so if you could share with us, I was wondering if there is a difference across countries or regions on how people generally use ChatGPT. Like you mentioned astrology or whatever. Is there a noticeable difference across economic strata or maybe across regions?
So I think that the translation use case, for example, I think definitely varies by region. So I think if you went to the United States, that's not like one of the top use cases. But in Asia, it's like one or two or three, one of those. I think the education use case is pretty consistent, wherever you go in the world. Health uses are also pretty consistent, wherever you go in the world. Certainly, I think like astrology, fortune telling, things like that. I think that is, more in Asia than it is in the United States or in the West. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I think that there's something interesting here. I'm going to go on a little bit of a detour with the observation you made about astrology and fortune telling and how people think about this in terms of certainty. That also spans into healthcare and self-care advice. So the story I think about, and I was thinking about this when you said what's like an impactful story, is there's somebody that I know that used the tool because their dad had a disease that looked to be terminal, and he did not understand what it was. And he had gone to many, many doctors over the span of several years, and none of them could tell him what he had. He just knew that he was not well. Then one day he gave all of his symptoms to ChatGPT, and it said it could be one of these 4 things. And then one of the things that it had listed as a potential diagnosis was something that none of his doctors had ever brought up before. So then he took the results to his doctor and said, do I have this particular condition? Then they ran a bunch of tests and they confirmed that that was the condition that he had. That doesn't change the situation in the sense that he still has the condition and there's no cure for it. He probably has a limited number of time left to live, but now he understands what is happening. And now he has certainty where there was a bunch of uncertainty, and it just helps him, basically get through every day now in a much better way. And I think that's something that like the tool I think people look to, whether you're thinking about something that's more spiritual or something that's more scientific, which is like people are still searching for answers sometimes, and it's not necessarily going to give you the answer, but it might help you get to what. And I think that's just like basic human need.
Thank you.
First of all, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it. I have two questions. First is that the AI landscape is progressing so quickly these days. Can you share with us the insights of what we will see in the future?
What do you think?
No, we want
I'm not here to be interviewed. It's your job. Do your job, Jason.
Whatever you can share. I think we're curious to hear from you.
Krating, would you like to set it up for him?
No, I think like
We need to process a bit this question.
Jason mentioned like agentic AI. I think like that's basically like the age that we are living in. But I think like the next level of reasoning capability, and also like agentic AI will be really truly an agent. I think basically like an AI that can act truly as our agents and then connect with the other applications. You know, like and can coordinate and tell the other application to do a job on our behalf. That will be the second thing. I think like it's actually happening right now. I think the other thing that I hope that it will happens. I think like that we find a way to use energy more efficiently. You know, like because as the usage of AI and people use more AI a lot more and more and more, and it just like if we find a way to feed AI, you know, like and make it more like efficient, energy efficient, you know, like that will be a sustainable AI. That will be the one that I hope that it will happen. You know, like and the other thing I think like definitely I think like Jason like mentioned as well, but probably he intentionally doesn't mention it because it's a vision by the other company. You know, like it's a physical AI. You know, like that's but I think the physical AI is quite challenging. I think like because we need a lot of like it's not only multi-model, but you probably need a foundation model of physical AI and also the world model. You need a world model so that like physical AI can really perceive the world, interact with the world. But I think we might see it first in the autonomous self-driving car, which is like but then after that like the polyfunction robot. I think that will be down the road, and that's what I think.
Thank you, Pikating. How about OpenAI?
Yeah.
From you.
I think Jason know everything already, but like he
No, he
intentionally
can't-
not mention the vision of the other
Processing the
company.
answer and time to
In terms
deliver.
of your
I'm trying to think of
insights.
something that we haven't talked about yet, and so I think here's one that we haven't talked about yet. So think about how much we're internet connected right now. So think about how much we were internet connected 20 years ago. So maybe like actually more like 30 years ago. You had to dial up in a modem, you know, and all the speeds were really slow. There were only like several hundred million people on the internet, and you know you had a bit of desktop or something like that. And now you have internet on your TV, on your phone, you know, in your car. You know, you probably have many different devices in your home. And the reason I bring up that analogy is currently you access these AI systems. I think in the future, that intelligence will be in your TV, it'll be in your car, it'll be on your watch, it'll be, you know, in a little device that you carry around. It might be in your backpack, it might be on your clothes. And so I think like the shrinking of the intelligence, the amount of intelligence that you see right now, and it being shrunk into a form factor that you could put everywhere. And so that everything around you has some amount of that intelligence, and you can converse with it in natural language. That's probably in our future.
It's really interesting. Thank you. So second question about learning. I've been so curious. Like Pikating said, 30 years, if we had this 30 years ago, you know, it would have been really different. So my friends are professors now, and some of them have problems with kids sort of using AI to learn. And so I want to hear what you think about the future, how the kids could use AI to enhance their learning, not learning for them, from, you know.
Yeah. No, this is a great question. So I think, so one version of this is being able to train the system or just adjust the system so it doesn't instantly respond to the answer. So you ask a question, it asks a question back to you. And so it kind of engages you more like a teacher might. Another version of this is educators looking at just accepting that people are going to use AI tools and not grading or judging the student's performance based on the results, but the process by which they got there. So today, people will grade a paper. You'll write a paper and say, okay, this is a good paper or not. But ChatGPT can write papers, so now professors and teachers are upset. But now what you can do is you can say, I want to see all your prompts that you use to write the paper, because you probably use the tools. And so, did you write good prompts? Did you write follow-up prompts? Did you engage? Did you change things? And what was the process that you got to this output by using the tool? And that's how I'm going to judge you now. based on that process rather than the output.
That's so interesting. Thank you.
Can
So-
I ask you a question as well, Woody?
Yes, you
Just
can,
probably
of
just
course.
one, you know, like
Of course.
you know, like because all of us here, they are all like business leaders or public sector leaders. You know, like what are your advice, like and leadership lessons in your career that you would like to give us here?
Yeah, just in the field of AI or just in general? For
In
leadership,
general, I think,
leadership
like,
lessons.
yep.
Yeah. I think that, when I think about leadership, I mostly just think about the people that depend on me for clarity. And so like the teams that I work with, that's where my mind always goes first. And so I would say to any public sector leader, you have a team, you have constituents that depend on you. And I think part of leadership is communicating well, letting people know that everything that you're doing is there's a through line to your objective that also matches their objective, and that is actually what keeps people together, and that's like the most important thing.
So clarity and also like the communications and
Yeah.
how to keep people like together.
Yeah, and I think just making people understand and feel like they are part of something together, right? I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah, and I think like that's what OpenAI has done very very well. People believe like in the mission, and also like believe in the purpose of the company, and I think like that's what you do well.
Thank you.
Thank you very
So,
much.
so at the office, do you guys use it vigorously? I mean, do you talk less or talk more? Like in the meeting room, do you have AI staffs also sitting there discussing in the meeting room with you?
Yeah, so we definitely use the coding capabilities a lot. And we're also working on trying to make it so that it does AI research experiments for us sometimes. And then people use it to help write, people use it to help summarize. There was a tool that we built internally called MeetingBot. And so you would start a meeting and then you would turn on audio recording, and it would the bot would listen to the meeting and it would summarize it. But there were all sorts of funny incidents that would happen, like people would schedule meetings, MeetingBot would turn on, then they didn't show up to the meeting, and the MeetingBot would say, I started this meeting, nobody came, how rude, and then it just like, it summarize it. And so it's just, I think, you'll see a lot more of that, I think, in the future. But yeah, we use it in that way throughout.
My question to you is, I've been trying to figure out, do I type or do I talk?
Yeah.
Now I've been trying to talk to, hi there.
Hey there.
พูดภาษา
Sounds like you were in the middle of.
I'm interviewing Jason Kwon of OpenAI. I want to know what I should ask him. Give me the one compelling question I should ask him as he is on his Asian tour here in Bangkok at the House of Wisdom. One question. Give me one good one, or else I'm gonna cancel you from my phone.
Oh, no pressure at all then. All right, let's make it a.
Go ahead.
Absolutely. So here. Sure thing. So one compelling question you could ask Jason might be, in your travels and conversation here in Asia, what's one insight you've gained about how people
No, I
envision
already asked.
AI?
I already asked that question.
No worries.
I already asked that question. To give me a more compelling one, can you beat me to this, please? I paid so much per year.
Absolutely. Let's up the game a bit. How about this? Ask Jason if you could pick one unexpected way you think AI will fundamentally change human creativity or culture in the next decade. Something people aren't talking about yet. What would it be? That should give you a fresh angle and a
He
really
looks
intriguing
very
answer.
puzzled right now with that question, by the way. Can you answer that question, Jason?
How will it change human creativity in a
Yeah.
way that we don't expect right now? I think it will go in the direction of you will be able to kind of take aspects of your personality and decide that you want to amplify or delete certain things, because you can load up a bunch of information about what you like and what you don't like, and how you think about things, and then the model will kind of start to take on some of those qualities, right? And then you can just decide, but this is like the super serious me, so like no jokes, and in this kind of personality, it's just going to be very, very rigorous in how it answers, right? And but it's otherwise going to think like me, and so you'll see, I think, maybe people be creative about the ways they want these systems to have aspects of them, and then they're just kind of actually designing their sort of digital extensions of themselves for particular types of situations, and that there's creativity there, and I think that that might actually in the future be form of like craft, and maybe not quite art, but like craft, and like that's like creativity. And you see this right now because we have this whole job at OpenAI called model behavior designer, and these people that work inside of OpenAI, they make decisions about how the personalities of the models actually develop. And so if you go into our latest tool, our latest release, you can pick personalities like the cynic, which will be very sarcastic and and not necessarily answer your questions like super straightforwardly. And someone came up with that, right? And it's like a model behavior design. And so that is not a job that existed 2 years ago, but it requires a lot of creativity to execute on.
Exciting times up ahead for OpenAI, for ChatGPT, and for AI in general in Thailand as well. Unfortunately, we are running out of time, so let's end this OpenAI forum with some final words. First from Kun Krating. Anything you'd like to... Why do you look shocked, Kun Krating? Any final words before we depart tonight, Kun Krating?
Thank you very much, Jason, and so definitely thank you the Woody's like number one like MC in Thailand, and also like one of the top in Asia as well. Like I think this is a great combinations, and I think like on behalf of the House of Wisdom in Thailand, I think like your presence here is really honor, and it's very meaningful for our country. It means like our country matters, like and also like we have learned a lot from tonight conversation with you, and I think we definitely will use insight, inspiration, and also the wisdom that we get from you to really like move our country and transform country, like and definitely hopefully like next time you come you'll see like this country move needle a little bit, like in the right direction, and we definitely will make you proud next time that you come, hopefully soon.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Jason, any final words before you leave Thailand and come back again maybe sometime soon?
Yeah. So I think that the reason I'm here really is because of you, right? And so we met I think about 5 or 6 months ago. We had a really great conversation, and you said, "Hey, you should come visit sometime," and I said, "Sure." And here I am right now. And I think the main thing is, the technology created the conversational topic for us to be able to start the conversation, and we're talking about it now. But the most important thing is actually that it's still about human connection, right? And so I think we shouldn't forget that when we're talking about technology.
Thank you very much, Jason.
Thank you very
Kwon,
much.
guys. So a huge thank you to Jason and Krating for sharing their insights and perspectives with us today. And I want to invite everyone to join the OpenAI Forum, a community where you can access the latest information and updates about AI. This QR code, just scan it with your phone and you're in. So don't miss a chance to be part of the community and keep the conversation going. And also we have the OpenAI team here. So if you have any questions, please feel free to find them as well in the room. So thank you again to our amazing guests, and thank you for all for joining us today. ขอบคุณครับ
ขอเสียง
Thank you
ต
very
บ
much.
มือให้ทั้ง3ท่านด้วยนะครับ